See you guys. Now eSports Curse Academy into the game. There we go. First ban. Jinx goes through. Pekek. Hopefully you'll learn a second champion in time for this one. And I wonder, will they kick the puppy? Will they also ban Caitlyn?
And if they ban, I think they'll ban Thresh.
Yeah, for Bunny. His Thresh is great.
Yeah, Bunny Fufu's is just really fantastic. And it's funny because Curse has had a history of picking up Thresh players. Even Curse Academy. It's just, we had Maria, huge Thresh player. Zatsulo, huge Thresh player. Bunny Fufu, Sheep, huge Thresh players.
Yep.
This Thresh mains by a long margin there. And just so you guys know, Curse Academy was late, and that's why there was so much delay getting into this. That's why they've lost a ban.
Yep. But the ban's coming through this one. There we go. The Thresh ban also there, so properly identified. Cassidon removed from Nebby Pooh Bear. The guy also a pretty big Gragas main, though, so we'll see if he loses much more from his champion pool. Haven't seen Gragas yet since the remake, unfortunately, but
Gragas, especially in the mid lane, has a lot less power in terms of what he did previously. So he's not as go-to as he was previously.
Seems support in jungle a fair bit. Like, I really think we're probably going to see support Gragas in the first week of LCS, even if one of the challenges doesn't quite pick it up. Shyvana.
Like Karma, Morgana are much higher tier picks right now in terms of team fight potential. Gragas is kind of displacement, not as effective, and he puts himself more at risk than those two do.
Yeah, it really depends on what you want for your team. Like, people weren't running Leona for a long time because they didn't want to engage from the support, because junglers were doing it. And when junglers became fighters, you wanted more engage from support. And sometimes that's just kind of how this works out. It's what the teams want to run strategically. So, first pick time for Denial Esports. Their two bans were Cassid and Soraka aimed at the mid lane. So Nebby Pooh Bear going to miss a couple of his champions, but otherwise pretty spread apart bans from Denial, removing one champion from each of the pools.
Kha'Zix is still available.
Yep. Lucian, if you want to like cut the champion pool farther.
Yeah. They're taking their sweet time with this one. Because there is a lot to consider here. They lost a ban, so what you don't take, they will immediately pick up for themselves. And it looks like it's going to be Lee Sin.
Okay. So Lee Sin removed away. Not one thing that Chris plays a lot of in solo queue, so.
Well, also Saint at the same time doesn't really play that either, and there's so much left up here. Yeah.
Morgana for Bunny. Going to be Jax for Chris here in the top lane. Now, Renekton's still available, and it's Anda's most played. It's a good one-on-one matchup. We'll see if Chris Academy can dodge that into being the champion pick. But that, like, when you first pick Jax, you know you're like, all right, I'm going to get some ganks to snowball this lane out.
Yeah, I think St. Vicious is going to take Elise at this point, considering the way that he plays. Elise Morgana would be right up their alley, and it's a great combination. I think that's actually one of the best synergies that support and jungle can have together, is that.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It's very difficult to play against, too, because if you eat one, you're going to eat more CC, unless somebody takes it for you. And you can't really... Like, here's the thing, too, is that the way you would counter all that CC is by picking Morgana, but Morgana's needed for the Morgana-Elise combo, so you have to break it up.
That's true.
But the fact that it looks like they already locked in their jungler, so I assume it's a jungle Lee Sin, they can't really do anything about it. They'd have to pick up the Elise to steal it away.
And we'll have to see. Lucian does come through, so a pretty pokey team right now. So the question to me becomes, how well can you withstand the Jax split push? Because right now, Denial's Siege is awesome.
Yeah. Denial has a lot of poke coming out here. So there could be a Pantheon for the hard engage. You can see him whip out a Vi to just single out the Nidalee. They have a lot of tools available to them that they don't have to worry about Morgana being on the enemy team because they picked it up for themselves first rotation. Now, could go with Evelynn, but I do think it's going to be an Elise because the combination is so good. But they have so much siege potential, so much backwards kiting here for Denial, and it's probably going to be a Caitlyn for Pekek because that's all he plays. I mean, he can play Tristana a little bit, and all the AD carries are kind of similar in the overall. There's just nuances between them.
They have actually pretty different power spikes. Like,
I know. Their power spikes are different. You will fight me on this. I know.
Yeah, I know.
They're very different in terms of that, but like it's not that hard to pick up an AD carry.
Generally speaking,
when you were an AD carry player.
All right, well, here we go. The pick's going to come through. Jace is going to be the grab right here. Interesting. So, by the way, Anda actually is a Nidalee player, so there actually could easily be Jace mid, Nid top to fight up against the Jax. That is one thing to keep in mind. Curse Academy needs their mid lane pickup. Support Karma is the grab there for Ion. So an incredibly aggressive lane there, a lot of poke potential. incredibly large amounts of sieging. You got so much poke in this Denial lineup. They're going to close the game out, or they're going to try to, before Jax gets going.
A little worried here for both sides. As I'm looking at these team compositions come around, there's so much poke here for Denial, right? They have the double poke. Physical from Jace, magic damage from Nidalee. They also have Karma, who can build AP and just bolster that even more. And then they have the Lee Sin to start snowballing the lanes. Curse Academy on the other side, Wombo combo coming out here.
Yep.
They have late game comp as well, but I say that that one goes even further into the late game. Denial, they have to end this before Curse Academy gets tanky.
Yep.
Very, very difficult.
Yeah, they're going to have to try. They're going to have to pull in, and it is, by the way, going to be Jace top, actually. Jace also in his champ. Well, not so much for Navi Pooh Bear. So the original mid is the correct one. But yeah, so it's a battle of against the clock before Jax.
I would say it's a battle against the clock, and if Denial, they can basically add seconds onto the timer, minutes onto the timer, if they get an early lead via Inori. If Nori ganks the top lane and keeps Jax down and gives Jace a big power spike, he will group middle and you will push turrets down like there's no tomorrow. The amount of siege that they have, you have to be able to dodge all of these skill shots.
True.
It's virtually impossible.
Yeah. Everyone who's going to be part of that one, even Lee Sin Q is at least not horrible.
Yeah.
Like it's not the best poke. It's not an enchanted Karma Q, but
Karma's going to use a Q on somebody, slow them, and then the poke will come through. If she gets a binding, it's pretty much guaranteed at that point.
Yeah, that's unlikely though. I feel like that's more like in the actual team fight.
It's a good range, yeah.
Yeah. So now there's a couple of interesting questions with this one because we didn't see Jace a whole lot. We don't see him very frequently.
I love him though.
Yeah, he's a great champion. It's weird because their disengage is pretty tenuous for Denial. Like they have the gate, and they have Karma Mantra E. I was never a huge fan of just move speed for your disengage tool because I think you can overpower it if you flank with Jax and stun. Like you're just done.
It's the worst gap closer.
Yeah, and the thing is exactly like Jace, TP's jump E's you, and because your move speed buffs are all pretty short duration, both the Mantra E as well as the acceleration gate, you're stunned during the entirety of your move speed, and you come out regular speed and they all catch you. And you're again fighting Orianna, Elise, Morgana, like all these crazy things. So Denial have very tight windows to deal with.
So if you're looking for your mandatory Cloud, your St. Vicious fix, you're going to get it right here. Haven't seen Man Cloud since his fall from the LCS. Haven't seen St. Vicious in a while either. Got to see what they've brought to the table. Man Cloud back on the Orianna that he's pretty known for.
Yeah.
Like, that was kind of his go-to team fighting champion.
Yeah, it was.
When Assassins fell by the wayside.
Here we go. Both teams looking for similar style engages, both running towards enemy red buffs.
That was so quick that if there was somebody in that bush, there wouldn't have been enough people really there to back him up. Like, that was a really just low hesitation binding.
Yep.
He wasn't even waiting for everybody to be grouped on him. They were already there. It was just, oh, binding.
Well, looks like early ward went down for Curse Academy. Didn't actually hit the brush. It's just outside of it, but it will spot the red buff. And you really can't start the red without getting by that ward anyway. Curse Academy, they're going to camp their ward. And, with the Nile recalling, they could walk by for this buff.
Lee Sin, Inori, he's not backing. He's really just the bottom lane in the mid. And there isn't going to be a lane swap here or a 4-0. So both teams actually think that they can beat the other in just straight up engage. Just straight up lanes. Which is actually pretty bold here from Denial. Because given the names on the Curse Academy roster,
yeah, there's some good names.
There are some great names. 4 former LCS players. They saw that Q.
Yeah, if they were paying attention. I mean, they pinged it. They pinged that. But it was just the quick check from Denial. They want to know if they were camping the brush. They weren't at that time. So here we go. Curse Academy. They're starting up their own, the red buff Steel Saint's going to get that, and Nori and Anda going to do the same thing. This will require a TP from Chris at some point, and not for Anda.
Yeah, Chris realizes that, oh, they didn't lane swap. That's awkward. I'm going to have to back and TP top.
It gives the XP advantage to Denial's bottom lane as well.
Yes, it does.
There's no way they don't get level 2 first.
They got there first. They'll have the level 2. Anda will also have his level 2 earlier. We're going to have to see what ends up happening here between these two teams in these lanes especially.
Here we go, Navi Pooh Bear. They're taking early aggression there. ManCloud is winning this mid lane so far. 6 minions, 7 minions to 5. And ManCloud was the highest CS at 10 of I think all LCS mid laners, certainly all North American mid laners. LCS, so I want to know if he can continue to dominate this lane as well, or if Navi Pooh Bear holds up It's another player we see a lot in the challenger scene. Those teams never are quite successful.
We saw Inori doing a lot of work inside the enemy jungle, inside of Curse Academy's jungle. And now he's doing a lot of work. He's visiting top. Chris is already there. So this is what I was talking about. They need to make that early lead via Inori's because of the nature of this team. But oh, he used his E right into...
Had to flash it.
Good call there.
That was good, though. That was the right kind of
Yes.
bind by Fufu. It forced you to dodge into your team. That is very smart.
Especially when you're pinned up against the wall like that. Now at least
Yep.
making the rounds. Look at how much time Inori has spent top. He went for the golems to counter jungle it. St. Vicious knows that he's top, so he's going to go ahead and counter jungle the Wraith himself. These junglers are pretty much matching each other toe-to-toe. And Anda, he's going to rely on the early game poke and the range from Jace to harass this Jax and see how much he can actually get done. Saint making a repeat visit bottom. There's no ward, but it says it's not worth his time to stick around.
All right, well, we're going to see if there's much of a minion lead here, 17 to 21, but many of these will get picked up by Lucian. So right now, it's a small gold lead for Denial thanks to their laning phases. The top lane was pushed under the turret with the caster minions kind of dying. With Jax unable to CS them, you're seeing the AD carries pretty much split equally here. A couple will die to the turret, but Ion should be able to support these. It's just, if they're full health, support hits them once, AD carry hits them, they all get grabbed up. So 24 to 25.
Look at that. Inori, he's back top again. The ward expired in the tri-brush, but he just wants to get Anda ahead. Like from the start, I said you want to get Jace to get that turret ASAP, then create pressure all over the map. Go mid, push that. Look at, it's just been so long. He's been sitting up there forever.
Thing is, this lane's gonna basically stay this way for a short time. It's gonna be a gank a long time in the making.
Oh, he stepped out.
The dodge is used, lands the Q, goes in for the damage anyway. Big burst comes through. Chris forced a Q away, loses health, but the TP is almost up.
Yeah, when ganking a Jax, you actually should time your ganks between minion waves.
Yeah.
Because never gank him when your minion wave is around your turret, because then he'll always have an escape route.
And you see right there, jumped right in, was perfectly safe. Didn't have to burn much of anything. He does, however, recall. He doesn't actually. Stays for one more wave. St. Vicious comes in to support this one. 2v2. Low HP on Chris, though. He's going to jump in the stun. Nice flash by Inori. Keeps him safe. St. Vicious will land the cocoon. But he's alone now. Goes for some damage. Gets hit back by Anda. Half HP, but Chris now has TP.
Just now, Inori, that's a very aggressive play. There's no way he was getting out of that alive if he made it.
Well, if they can make the plays happen, those shock blast hits. Chris is one hit from dead. Inori. He's trying to get away. The Q is going to land. The dodges by Chris. He makes the play. The Spiderling tanked the Q. First blood to Chris, and now Anda is just going to be sad.
The flash counter strike for the stun. Big there for Chris. Talked about how he sets up the gank assistance.
That was so impatient, though, by Denial. They knew he couldn't get away, and he tried way too hard.
There was no way that Inori was actually going to get out of what he was doing alive the way he was doing it. His flash was already down before he even made it behind the turret. And he's like, I'm going behind the turret. I'm going to throw a Q. Don't have that much damage early game to burst somebody under a turret and get away with it. The shock blast from Anda was really good. And if like 2 more had landed, would have been great. And Jace can get the mana back by having a point in his W and then auto-attacking inside of his
Sure.
form.
Well, could be the case that Curse Academy now have a 500 gold lead thanks to the first blood. Look back at the bottom lane. This is actually going pretty well for Shinon and Ion. They're shoving now quite a bit. Both supports did start Spell Thieves. They got their money doing that. But the Caitlyn pick, it's holding up in lane but not doing much.
Yeah. Oh my god, there's so many longswords that just came out for Anda and Inori.
Dang.
They wanted blades.
Triple longsword versus Ninja Tabby. Be a fun little matchup there. I feel like, as far as spell damage is concerned, it's better for Anda.
Yeah.
30 AD is going to beat 25 armor most days.
Level 6 is coming out here, but the power spike for Jace at level 6, non-existent. You don't even put that point into your R.
Yeah, but he's actually kiting back pretty successfully, though. He's not gotten stunned by those trades, and he's landing a shock blast on the way back. It's 50 to 25 in minions. Even with the first blood gold for Chris, that's fine.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job here in the top lane. Just bullying Jax as much as he can. He's got half of his CS. That's why the gold is still very close. But the CS deficit that ManCloud's making is made up by Shine on the bottom lane. So it is just that kill that's given them that tiny advantage, which is now non-existent.
Yeah, and once again, the bottom lane up 14 minions, second recall. Well, sorry, Shannon is second to recall here. We're going to see what else he can buy with the 14 minion lead on that one. Nubby Pooh Bear holding up pretty close to ManCloud, 62 to 70. Either has gone back in or looks for the gank. ManCloud out of mana. Ooh, the Q's going to miss. The kick just pushes him back. And ManCloud could just recall pretty safely here if he wants to.
Yeah, if the Q had landed and he had been able to kick him, Dragon's Rage him off to the left, would have at least forced a flash or an ultimate out of ManCloud. He gets neither of those, though.
Saint Vicious, though, going to look him in
the
nice knockback there. Saint, he flashes, forces it away from Anda as well. To trade a summoner spells.
That's really hard to pull off, actually.
Yeah.
Because the way that the Jax is flying at you, you have to buffer that ability and use the Thundering Blow before he even jumps at you.
Pretty much, yeah.
So when he gets in contact with you, you knock him back.
You're already starting it.
Yeah, and you have to also make sure that you don't sacrifice too much ground, that you're in range of at least. Because if you just walk up and Thundering Blow him and he hasn't jumped at you,
yeah, it's Repel Cocoon and
a little too late.
Yeah. Well, overall good play by these guys. Saint trying again.
Yeah, the top lane's going to have all of this focus here because Jax is just a huge boon for the team if he gets ahead. But Jace is in the same boat. If Jace gets the attention that Inori's going to give him, we're about to see it here because he's going to revisit top.
Yeah. I like how both strings have identified how much this game is about top lane. Looks like the Repel comes over Saint. Good dodge by Anda. And now comes Inori in the backside. No cooldowns really available for Curse Academy. Stun lands onto Inori, but they chase down towards Saint. No flash and no Repel. He doesn't have a way out, but there's no cooldowns or mana left to kill him. Oh, Inori!
He
got it! That's a kill picked up. Beautiful play by Inori.
He has Dragon's Rage just now. They're going to pin him underneath the turret. There's no help coming. Mandatory Cloud is the only person. If he lands the Q, which is very easy to do.
There you go. Kill picked up. Nicely played. Denial. Turning the top lane around. Over aggression by Saint Vicious.
Yeah, the way that Chris was positioned between the turret, it was very easy to land that Q. Basically just shoot it down that little aisle and you're fine. So 2 kills go over to them. They now have an advantage in that top lane. The top lane will decide this match with the ganks. And I said it from the start, that's the synergy we need to watch out for.
So Inori started out being too aggressive, giving up first blood. That happened now to Saint Vicious. Both these guys trying so hard to make plays, they've backfired. And it's now a 1,500 gold lead, the turret going down. And Denial's favor.
Looked like they were making a move towards Dragon there. Blue's up. They're ready to hand it over. Now Chris gets a frozen lane, right? But here's the thing. Anda isn't going to settle. He's got a pickaxe. He's got a brutalizer. It's time to go middle, poke Mandatory Cloud out, and get that turret with Hypercharge.
Here's the difficulty, though, is it's blue buff Orianna. Very good at clearing minions from rather far away, so you have to land those shots. If you don't deal the damage, the waves get cleared.
Let's see how she handles Fog of War poke.
Yeah.
Because I used to be a Jace main.
Yeah.
He's the only person mid that I'm like, oh, I'll carry this game super hard.
All right, first Shock Blast spell shielded. Well, shielded, but damage goes through. We've started the siege at 11 minutes. How long will it take for it to break for either side? Hypercharge goes in. Inori looks for the catch on the bunny. If he slowed down, Q will land. Jumps,
that was so
flashes,
good.
kicks. Ooh, the burning damage. It is enough. Inori finds the kill. Anda forced away, though. Nice command attack. Picked up the kill solo. That'll be Pooh Bear forced to run away. Jumps over the Dragon Wall. Javelin's going to land on a ManCloud. Big damage comes in. Oh, will they turn it back? Wow, the Ignite comes in. That will be a trade. A 2-for-2 overall.
Now it's blue and red.
Oh, Caitlin's going to come over the wall there. Ions does not get stunned. Good escape there. Summoner heal used. Empowered Q flash, though. Pekek finds another one. 3 kills to 2.
And now there's a 800 gold lead for Denial. Caught in the middle there. And was not ready for St. Vicious coming in from the side. Now the TP coming in.
They want us to contest this one, though. Inori, he's not around, though. This Dragon low on health. That should be an easy smite for Saint. He does pick it up. Pekek taking some pretty big damage. Pops summoner. Here comes Chris. No mana on him. The engage is off on the side. Saint helps secure the kill, and Pekek finds that one. Another 1 for 0 plus the Dragon. Shinon still going to be chasing this one down, though. Can they get anything more? And doesn't have the gate up yet.
He used it in the middle of that fight. The cooldown of that does not go down with rank, so people don't put a lot into it anymore. And the Thundering Blow pretty much saved Saint there, and he didn't absorb the ace in the hole for his teammate. It would have kept Nubby alive for a little bit longer with the damage that they needed. But great play overall by Curse Academy. They end up 300 gold in the lead from the Dragon, and that well-fought team play.
I gotta say, the fact that ManCloud got the solo kill on Anda to start that fight was everything there.
Yeah.
They fought a 5v4, and it was just a great battle for Curse Academy. The Dragon and everything puts them back on equal gold.
And look at that. He's at 115 CS, 12-minute mark, 13-minute mark.
Not bad.
Keeping up with his previous record.
He's 1,200 gold over his lane opponent because of, I mean, being at 25 CS plus all those kills and globals. Like, that's very big.
Yeah. They don't have a turret in their favor. Denial does, but of course it's not global gold anymore.
So about 100, not that much.
It's not as much. They put a lot more into the local gold
of
it. So you want to be present for the tower.
Yeah, so Anda's got a 200 gold lead over his opponent. Inora's got a gold lead over his opponent, but that's kind of the limit right there.
ManCloud's basically saving the team right now in terms of gold.
He absolutely is. He's saving the team, and we said that there was a clock in this game. Denial has to make this happen. Now 13.5 minutes in, 2.5 minutes later, they're trying again for the mid lane push, but they've only got a cannon minion left. They're not going to make it happen. And there's a big wave showing up top lane that Jax can just grab and get another level off of.
And now they're just sieging up the middle. They have so much siege potential with the double poke. They pull actually Chris away from that top lane. It looks like you're basically sitting there going, I want all that juicy farm. I'm Jax. Look at that huge wave. I gotta take it. I don't have TP, but I have to take it.
He's going to make his way up there just in time. Actually, the mini wave just now crashing onto the turret. He'll miss like 2 CS, but he'll get the rest of the gold. Missed a single melee minion, I believe. And Chris about to be rich.
I'm rich, Chris.
There you go.
And now, blue buff didn't end up taking it, but they saw Chris top, so they're immediately sieging down the middle. It's up to ManCloud to go ahead and clear this wave out for his team, but if he can't, the turret will surely go down.
Well, they were going to drive for the attempt there, and Nori helping to get the push going. The dual lane's still going to stay bottom, so a 3-on-3 push. It's actually 2v1 against Caitlyn down there. Doesn't mean anything. Again, wave cleared.
Yeah, wave cleared very, very quickly. You saw the volatile spider lane coming out just for the assistance underneath the tormented soil. And now, Pancake is deal with himself.
This is the kind of thing that Denial could have sent everyone bot lane and gotten this turret because they had a numbers advantage this side of the map. Chris's TP was down.
Ooh, it's very fast, Elise, right now.
Yep.
Got the rush to tier 2 boots.
Shannon eats the trap though, makes him dodge the cocoon, which is thankful. But gonna peace out for this one. Curse Academy making good plays now. Mid lane again sieged up and to find some damage there. Looks like Inori showing back up one more time, and they will get enough damage to finally take this turret down. Good shockwave lands on a 2. Pooh Bear has turret aggro. They're going to keep hitting the turret, though, to knock it down. He'll stay alive. Mid-tier 1 goes down, 2 turrets to 0.
Yeah, and Jace just destroys turrets very, very quickly, and the fact that you put a primal surge on top of that for attack speed is really big when his hypercharge is down. So he just shreds through them. We saw it there. Oh, okay, that's not good times for Chris at all.
And that's before any Magic Pen or major AP buys, so want to see how that continues to go. Of course, Chris did rush armor boots, so no MR to speak of just yet.
It's a high-risk comp.
A very high-risk comp. And already goes and looks for the kick, but knocks him backwards, takes the shots to the face, gets the kill, picked up very nicely, Curse Academy there. And with no smite, they can't really go for the blue. W. Cooper there in the wrong spot, has to jump the wall. He does so. Big damage on the St. Vicious there. Javelin, he takes the blue buff. Nicely played, Nubby Pooh Bear. Pekek forced to run away. -1, but blue grep. That nearly hit ManCloud.
Curse Academy end up with a kill. Saint very low.
Oh no, Chris got blue. I take it back.
So the blue ended up on him. The Nidalee Spear almost killed it, and then Chris was like, oh, I just smack it one time, and it fell into his hand. So now Chris isn't doing as poorly as he was in CS previously, because they put a bunch into him. But the objectives here, Denial, being the siege team, they want to take all the outer turrets, push up, get to the tier 2s, and start poking from the fog of war, because they have the 2 best champions at doing that.
Yeah. Problem is, though, man, again, nearly getting killed with these javelins. They're very close there. But to me, this is spelling disaster for Denial, because they're equal in gold despite a turret lead. I mean, they're giving up so much in minion kills and dragons and whatnot that they're not really gaining like really great tangible leads. Like tier 2 turrets are much harder to kill. And if all their gold's coming from turret kills, that's stopped now.
Yeah, and like I said, this game pretty much has a timer on it, but they're not on par for that timer currently. They did a really good job at the start, but the last couple of fights have not been going their way.
All right, so now it's going to be the team regrouping. Bloodthirster done for both AD carries. Phage there for Shinan versus Zeal for Xpekek. AD carries holding pretty equal. A pick attempt, nice and powered Q. She's going to have net though. Good kick backwards. Pekek takes a black shield, flashes the wall, but Ignite is on. Is it going to be enough to take him down? Ooh, the Summoner heal just in time keeps him alive.
I don't know if Inori meant to do that. He kick flashed, but
Yeah.
did it a little bit after the other. Because normally you want to kick flash, but flash to the other side of them and kick them into your team.
Yeah.
He did a kick
And a late flash.
and a late flash. So he was already flying, and then he ended up like next to him.
That's not what you want.
It's not what you want. I don't think it was what he intended at all.
No, and I would have guaranteed the kill if he got it, though.
Yeah. So we have a pause coming out here. I also saw Anda in the top lane. Already completed Last Whisper on Jace.
Yeah, so he's hit a pretty good power spike. Like, the thing is, that lane went incredibly well. He had double CS like the entire time, 50 to 25 at some point, even going higher. Got a kill, got the turret. And then it was this mid lane siege against the Blue of Orianna, right? A couple of like bad fights back and forth. Again, I want to know how ManCloud got that solo kill at 12 minutes because I think that was massive.
I saw Saint like come off from the side,
but it was unassisted.
But it didn't do anything. Yeah, he may have just put him in the right position for Orianna ball.
Yeah, I think he just got shockwaved into the turret is probably my main guess on that one. But basically, the siege, and this is why I said the game timers, because I want to know how long these sieges were going to take, is they siege, and while they siege, Jax gets to solo farm and just TP when it needs to, right? The pressure is off him. He's just like, just tell me when, just tell me when, just tell me when. Showed up for the dragon fight, won that, right? And got an extra kill, got the dragon, all that fun stuff. Went back to pushing. The minion lead no longer as big, right? It's nowhere near double. This
is 20.
Exactly. It's like 20 is like, who cares?
That's Jax getting out of laning phase versus anybody.
Yeah, no big deal, right? Oh no, 20 CS, not a big problem. And so you cash into this gigantic lane lead with a push that stalls out. And it lets him catch back up. He gets back up in level, gets back up in items, and now suddenly it's like, well, you have Ruin King done, you have Triforce done, you get a Spectre's Cowl, like you're fine. And at this point, I don't think Jace can easily solo Jax. Now, I don't see much Jace, so I can't guarantee this, but it feels like you've got some pretty good damage, yes, but now Jax has sustain and enough damage that he can burst you.
Yeah, the only way you'd be able to beat the Jax is if he uses Leap Strike and Counter Strike, and use your Thundering Blow perfectly, and then swap to Cannon again.
And then just start hitting him.
Yeah. But at this point, he didn't buy the tier. He got some kills. He didn't get an early tier to transition into Manamune later, which is really good with Hypercharge.
Yeah.
But the reason he did that is because they want to push this game and put all their cards into this pot that we have to end it very early. So if you got tier, he probably wouldn't complete it by the time they wanted to end the game.
Yeah, I mean, in general, yeah. I think it makes sense in terms of the timing of the game, but also in general, I don't see Jason build tier much anymore regardless. I expect BT his next major item.
Yeah,
we'll
he would have purchased it really early if he wanted it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead, he went for all the long swords so he could continue to push, which is what they needed for the team composition. But if you're solo queue, it's probably fine.
Ooh, they've got a flank on Pekek here, though. Inori, can he jump the wall to the Karma? Ion just goes in and powered Q. That's all. All right.
They end up getting a dragon for themselves from Nile, so they basically have a gold lead, 300 now, 400. But Chris at the same time.
This is one of those times where trading top turret for Dragon's worth it. Nice two-man shockwave. Ion's going to be going down rapidly. 1-for-0 on this one. The chase still going. Bunny Fufu does not land the binding. TP interrupted. Chris doesn't want to take it after all. They take the 1-0. Big poke onto Bunny, though, and now teleport is down from Jax. Can they land the Q? Can they land the damage? Saint tanks it. Javelin will miss, but the siege continues. Jax still pushing on the side, though.
He canceled his teleport, so we'll have that 200-second cooldown. Anda still has his, but I don't know how much he can deal with the Jax, but he's really needed here is the big thing, is he is necessary in this siege.
They're pushing Curse Academy back. Orianna still around. This next wave very far behind them. They sent Karma back to defend. I think that can't be a good choice as long as she doesn't get dived. Well, I mean, sure, but she's the one who's the defender here in the 1v1.
Oh, he's
up Chris, but Chris takes the turret down, right? So now Ion's, I don't even know if he's going to win the 1v1. Okay, that little help?
Yeah. Don't realize
4-on-4 jumps in, nice black shield, and Nori gets locked up and down he goes. They got a turret for it, but still, that's 2 kills now and a 1-for-1 turret trade.
Curse Academy end up with about 1,400 gold lead now. And that was a perfect black shield by Bunny Fufu. That was amazing. Didn't blow the exhaust. Didn't worry about it. He's like, nah, I got you. Got you, Pancake. No backdoor in here.
Very nicely done there. And of course, the Ward Hop not going to matter when Black Shield's on. Lee Sin can't break Black Shield by himself. So, good pickup there. Chalice actually is the buy for Anda. It's not tier. He does want the mana regen for the extra pushing. It's going to be, I think, just stopping at Chalice, then going towards maybe BT.
Yeah, you don't build anything out of the Chalice. You probably sell it in the very late game. Fiends. Yeah.
No. Hey, man, his melee W's got an AP ratio.
Yeah, it does. His static field. Actually, I don't think it's static field. I think that's...
no, I think it's...
No, that's not Blitzcrank ultimate.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. It might just be Lightning Field.
Actually, that might be. It's okay.
That sounds right to me.
Yeah. Usually at this point in our ears, our producer tells us it's this. And you're late to the call, by the way, Guy. Thanks for not telling us yet. Almost always, it's like, oh, this is how you pronounce that word. Or yes, this is actually the stat you're going for.
Yeah.
Dropping the ball. Appreciate it. All right, well, Q's going to land on a man cloud. Burns him a little bit. He's going to be okay, though. Tekek holding the mid lane for now. And it's like, at this point, can anyone hold on to Jax? Like, I don't know how you get rid of him except for kicking him away and disengaging.
He's even in CS now. He has Blade of the Ruined King. He's working towards his Trinity Force very hard. And here's the thing: is nobody can 1v1 him because they're all pokes. So you have to force him to group up and try to poke him out.
Oh, Cullen goes in. Nice W. Mancloud claims the blue buff. Shadow not losing much for that one. Pings go down. There's some wards over there.
Converging onto Chris, trying to make it so he can't farm as easily as he has been all game long.
Ward is gone. Jace just doing the pushing. But yeah, if you just push back and forth against Jace, like or against Jax, that's great for Jax.
Yeah, that's great for Jax. I couldn't think of a better situation.
The reconnect there, going to be all right for this one. Denial going to make their way towards this mid lane, but the game is simply slowing down for these guys. And there's Chris, level 13.
Nori. Oh, he's already used it.
The stun comes in, and there's a Nori though. Looks for the slow. Flashed away by Chris. He's going to be safe.
So that's basically the win condition there for Jace, is if he can Thundering Blow before the counter strike.
Yeah.
Which immediately forces Chris away. And now,
you saw him go down to half HP.
Yeah, he just dunked him. Blade of the Ruined King was used.
Sure.
That was a little bit of the extra burst in there.
And it doesn't have lifesteal. Like
exactly.
That lane's horrible now.
There's nothing that he can do in that lane at this point. He's pretty much just trying to CS. He'll show up to the fight, maybe TP top, but wow, his team is sieging so well. Like that, Mandatory Cloud has to back off from this now.
Big Javelin here, though, some good damage to this turret. If those keep landing, this could be more turrets for Denial. Down to half HP, still putting the damage in. And Jax not showing to defend. Caitlyn's still recalling back from the base, and Nori tanks a Cocoon, doesn't care. Denial could stay for this turret. They're going to. Mid-tier 2 is down. Yeah, Dragons in a minute.
Poking Mandatory Cloud out was incredibly good for them.
Yes.
Because he was the wave clear. You get rid of the wave clear, it allows the poke comp to flourish. And they do that and they get an objective for themselves without even picking up a kill. That's how you do it.
So that's working pretty nicely. St. Vicious, I got to point out, by the way, as we're talking about how important this poke is and the javelins and whatnot, Locket of Iron Slayer picked up 20 area of effect magic resist for his team. Plus, I think it's 10 or 15 HP 5 regen. And the shield if it really gets hairy.
Yeah.
So they will be more resilient to javelins, though they are still painful.
Yeah, but it's a double resistance poke comp here. You have the physical damage from Jace, and you also have the magic damage from
Very true.
So they double down on it. But yeah, basically he's going for the CDR build for Elise so that he can do the Elise Morgana combo that we've seen a lot of today.
Yeah.
Which is just really, really strong. You get one, you're going to land 2 more skill shots on the person with no skill involved. Basically, it's on the first person in the combo.
Yep. And of
They're
course,
skillful,
this team,
that's everybody up.
Yeah, absolutely the case. So we'll see what else they can get with this one. Looks like ward control is there, and look at this Denial go mid lane when Dragon respawns, and Curse Academy are in the wrong spot for it. Recalls Force, they have the opportunity to flank if they want to, but this turret goes down rapidly. It's going to be the disengage attempt there. Karma does not have her ulti, but hey, turret for an out-rotation, great play by Denial.
Yeah, Hypercharge is ridiculous in terms of attack speed. It gives you max attack speed for 3 shots and 130% at max rank for every shot. They're all camping in this bush now. They're a poke comp, though. What can they do?
No, they do not find anyone facing.
They're gonna go straight for the inhib.
Oh my gosh, they let him go right by, and there's the acceleration gate inhibitor. Gonna be under fire. Curse Academy suddenly all have to run backwards. Again, Denial has to be careful. They can get flanked here and be stuck inside the base. It's gonna be everyone walking backwards. How good is Denial's escape there? They use acceleration gate.
They're gonna go straight for the dragon now.
Empowered Mantra E.
Have a fight there.
They've got to be careful though. Again, if Curse Academy catches them, life could be pain. They put a couple of wards down. They're reasonably safe. Javelin gonna stop Mancloud. This is still not ideal for them. Pooh Bear could get caught out. Binding lands. I don't know if they know about that necessarily. But Inori is still pushing up at the top lane inhibitor turret. This is going to be all kinds of crazy right now. How good's the fight going to be? They're now trapped inside.
Oh, the
Saint
flash
doesn't land the cocoon. Navi Pooh Bear gets away from the first stun. Big poke lands. Buddy Fufu very much going to die. It's 1 kill picked up. Shockwave only hits 1. There's the engage. Big damage from Anda. Chris chases towards Shinon. Shinon goes down. Pekka gets caught up though. He goes down as well. Looks like a 3-for-1 Denial outplay the engage hard.
And now, he's chasing Chris. I don't know if that's the best idea.
I think it is. You stop the recall, you guarantee the inhibitor.
Yeah, and he's going to hit him with that one.
Oh, man. Chris has teleport. If he can get away, flash Q! And it picks it up. And this is going to be the inhibitor turret. The teleport in, only Morgana and Elise alive. Oh my gosh, denial.
He can do to this.
Dude, the outplay was real right there. Binding comes out, hits Bunny Fufu. Gotta be a bit careful. Saint does have some real damage, and the team's gonna back off. The revives already came in.
Yeah, it's still very early in the game. Like I said, it's so hard to close a game out at something like 24 minutes because people are back up so quickly. It's only 13 seconds till Chris is back. Everybody else is, and now it's time for the Dragon for them. So you're gonna watch here. Flash in, flash out. See the Nidalee get out of there. Bunny Fufu left by himself, isolated on the side because the rest of the team had engaged, and he was in the back. ManCloud got poked down by both sources, and Pekek was able to solo, or I guess duo, off Shine On. And then they went and chased Chris down and used the flash. There it is. It was hammer time.
It was. Oh, there we go. 8 to 9. Only a 3,000 gold lead right there for the Nile. Curse Academy have farmed so well. I mean, just look at the mid lane CS and tell me that's not a very large score right there. You're seeing still on the losing team, ManCloud is up almost 2,000 gold over his lane opponent. That is his minion killing. That is the actual kill he's been picking up for himself. The Nile have been winning the turret game, but they've got to use that gold lead to keep winning fights like they did before, or again, the clock ticks away.
So they have the inhibitor down. They have an exposed inhibitor bottom. No teleport available for Anda. Taking basically check of everything right now. He just completed his black cleaver, so the hypercharge will immediately stack that up very quickly.
Okay. Ooh, they landed a little bit of damage there. Anda's got to be careful with binding hits. This is not good for him. Chris is going to land the stun. He gets knocked back, though. Is this going to be enough for them? And engaging the other side as well. Saint pushed down to half. The Nile forced back.
Anda ended up hitting Baron there because he was inside of the binding.
Yep.
And it made it.
Got to press S.
Yeah. You got
to remember to hit S when you get binded.
If you're by Baron.
In general, I pulled Turret Dagger yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I was going to live, and I hit the Morgana. I was like, well, that's 300 damage. I was really sad because it's so avoidable.
Oh, they're going? So it's a very risky composition that Denial has played out, but they're playing it very well. That's how you play a poke comp. And I love that they went for the back door there.
That was crazy.
That was really risky, but they played it to a T.
Yeah.
The way that they rotated and ended up bottom lane and still pushed the turret.
Yeah.
And then they split, but were able to... That's the thing, is
They landed the poke.
Exactly. If you get in that situation, you split your poke up. Because if you're both next to each other, you're going to get shockwaved. You have to have a Nidalee Spear coming in from one side at a diagonal angle, and then send in the Jace Shock Blast from the other.
Yeah.
Split them up. Divide and conquer.
I think the Shock Blast hit Ori and Kate.
Yes, it did.
And it was just like, dude, when you've got Last Whisper Brutalizer on a rank 5 Shock Blast, like, that's going to hurt some people, and it did. It won them the fight.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No points into Jason's ultimate. That's what you do. We haven't seen a Jason in a very long time. So
pretty standard.
Yeah, it's very, very standard. Just the amount of benefit.
Is he maxing W or E second?
He maxed his, see, he put like 3 points into his Q, and then he started putting points into his W. So I don't know, actually. Okay. His build order. Unfortunate.
Well, I know at 6 you can get a second point in W really early.
Yes.
So if it's like 3, 2, 1, 1, that's just level 6.
Yes.
Or something like that. I got some. Yeah, no, because 1 point's free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like, wait, that's what it's 7, but the first rank in R is free. You get that at level 0.
Yep.
There we go. All right, I'm not totally stupid. Here we go. And Nori actually going to be a split pusher for this one.
But you are gold. Shh. I'm just pointing out that you didn't say totally. You said totally.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, it's fine.
I gotta.
You know what? You're just really mean.
I gotta grill you on that. I'm really mean.
Yeah, you're a jerk. I can't believe you just did that to me. I'm crying a little bit.
You did it to yourself. I just pointed it out.
Nope.
Anyway. Stop fighting like a married couple.
Uh-huh.
Get back to the game.
I've disowned you, son.
Yeah.
St. Vicious, ManCloud, and Co. going to make their way back to the bottom lane. The inhib has respawned in the mid lane, though, which means a 2,500 gold lead is just sitting there stagnant for now with Denial. There's very few turrets left for them to kill. If they can get inhib pressure, they can do something else with it. But that's the real test. They've showed up to the bottom lane.
Is backing now. Poke. Not really landing. He gets 2, and they're important.
Big damage. W. Kuber blocks that one for himself. Lands a javelin through the black shield there. Again, poke still attempted, but that's Shockwave down, which is a very big deal for these guys.
And nothing really blown on the side of Denial just yet. They're clearing that. You want to poke from the Fog of War as much as possible, especially with these two champions. It's very easy to do so. At this point, there's a big minion wave that's top. I wouldn't be surprised if Anda actually backs and then uses his teleport to get to wherever they need to be.
Looks like they're trying to time this a little bit off of the Dragon respawning. They are mostly in the Fog of War as they pull back here. Top lane, definitely the farm worthwhile in this one. Big board's cleared away. But they didn't have enough blue buff or really the Dragon necessarily, in that there's still some time for them to respawn.
Yeah. And it looks like 31 minutes in. So no Trinity Force complete for Chris. He spends the money on
home guard.
Himself a home guard, so he's in the fight in a timely fashion.
So 4 sweepers for Denial. They've actually upgraded the one onto Lee Sin, so he's very good at killing wards off. Plus his Sight Stone. So Denial also trying to control Vision very heavily to go with their poke composition to see if they can find the random kills, the free ones. Bunning those sweeping wards away as well, making that difficult.
It's kind of ironic that the best item or core item for the blind guy is the Sight Stone.
Yeah.
And basically all of the guys who use guns and rifles use swords as their key items.
It's true.
Basically every attack damage item is some type of sword.
But
there's like a bow.
Tryndamere like pretty much only buys swords
yes.
as damage items. He just gets more swords to go with the sword.
Holds some in his mouth. Is good.
Why not?
Yeah.
He balances them. No, he just holds like 5 swords in one hand.
Together in just one hand.
Yes.
That's why his
right arm is a lot stronger than his left arm. He's holding 7 swords in one hand. He is that awesome.
Lord.
How it works, dude.
He's like that kid who's like, no, I got 2 swords in my hand. 3.
Yeah.
Just take a bunch of sticks or something.
There you go.
Oh.
All right, Chris wants to flank around, doesn't get to.
So Dragon's up. This is the next point of contention here. Nidalee is not there to poke just yet, so it's actually very safe for Curse Academy if they were to start it up, but they don't have that information available to them.
No, they're going to risk it. It's going to be going down really rapidly. No one's really around to stop this one. Lee Sin, oof. Nope, no Shock Blast lands. Red team picks up Dragon. Curse Academy now 1,700 gold behind. They are once again catching back up. Big items are done for Jax. Triforce Ruin King is there. He's going to get tankier from now on. This is the part, this is like the last time Denial has a chance to poke people out easily.
Yes. Easily is the big word there, but here's the thing, is they don't have to deal with any turrets in that bottom and that mid lane. So the poke comp's actually a lot better than it would be.
All right, well, Chris is going to take down the bottom lane turret. He does have teleport. He's going to use that right now to show up for the fight. He comes in from behind. This is a flank battle. Denial, can they get away properly? Cocoon's going to hit Ion. Saint gets away from this one, binding onto the Karma as well. Big damage goes through into Karma. There's the Morgana ulti as well. Bunny Fufu locking up the team, and Nori Ion's trying to stay alive. Down goes Karma. Lucian forced away from this one as well. Now Anda, not in a good spot. Shockwave picked up a 2nd kill now. Denial are routed. Can they get away? Ion still forced away. This is not good for these guys. Both disengage tools are dead now. Curse Academy, let them out for now. Javelin at half HP.
Don't let the poke comp poke.
Nope.
And then you'll win. So they end up coming in from different angles. St. Vicious came in from the right. 2 members came in from the front. And then the back had the TP from Chris. So they sectioned them off. They divided them, and if you get right up in the poke comp's face, especially in Nidalee, not going to do as much damage. Jace, you force him to use the acceleration gate to escape, and if you get to the other side of it, then his damage is severely lowered.
You saw right there, very well played team fight. So Curse Academy made it all happen, and Jax just keeps getting scarier. I keep saying it, but it's the story of the game.
That is.
You've got to wait against Jax.
It's the timer. He's a big part of the timer here. Bunny Fufu.
Javelin Q exhaust is on to keep him alive a little bit longer, and Nori gets binded. Q is up in about a second. Does not land it. Good dodge by Bunny Fufu. He's still low health, though. Gilly comes by. And Nori tanks it. Mancloud takes some damage from that one. Lucian landed a W. Javelin hits as well. Shields it. Well, there's some meaningful damage being dealt right now. If Denial can play around that. Again, Cocoon comes in from Saint. The wards are getting swept away by Denial very heavily. They're trying to control Baron. Problem is, Curse Academy are playing around it so well. They've not gotten caught out at Baron. They haven't given one away yet either.
I think with the poke comp, they wouldn't start up Baron. The Chris bringing the ward up, and oh, look at that.
Okay, ward comes down. He's going to start flanking around Empowered Q. They're going to go for Baron. How good is this Smite going to be? Inori versus St. Vicious. He comes in, picked up by the red team. Neither jungler getting it. Smite not used by Inori, but Saint will go down. 1 for 0, but Baron picked up for Curse Academy.
Peke picked that one. Peke picked that one up for himself, and St. Vicious made Inori pull a St. Vicious.
There you go.
Didn't smite the Baron and gave it up.
Oh. Shockwave and Nori low. Ions as well. That's going to land. Another kill picked up for Curse Academy. Ions 1 hit from dead. No one's going to find him. But still, big fight. Curse Academy getting farther ahead now.
That's a huge swing for Curse Academy. They were ahead by a couple hundred gold. Picking up the Baron stops Denial from getting it. They give themselves these combat stats that allow them to deal with the siege because they have so much regen now. And they can just muscle things down. They also take Baron off the field, so there's no threat of that by this poke team.
This is now a really bad situation because, I mean, good luck poking against Baron and all that. Like, it's getting worse and worse. There we go. Ward's going to disrupt away. Curse Academy now. They could turn aggressive with this Baron buff.
Curse Academy, they put that ward, that Chris ran up and put that ward down with his trinket that he still has. And Denial didn't actually kill the ward. The ward is still sitting there in the Baron pit. I thought they were going to get on it a lot sooner, but no. That gave them the crucial vision they needed for St. Vicious and Peke to actually auto-attack it.
Yeah, it worked quite nicely. I mean, Repel does give vision when you use it, but he's got to time that a lot more closely. That was the case right there. The call to stay on Baron, it almost did it. It was close, it almost worked out, but they even got the kill off the Baron, but the fact that the monster itself went to Curse Academy, really helpful for that red team.
And now Chris even stronger in that top lane. By the way, he's level 18 versus level 16 of Anda. He's been split pushing all by his lonesome.
277 minions now in the lead on that one as well. BT finally now completed for Anda. He did get the Black Cleaver first.
The Jace window is pretty much gone at this point.
Yeah. He does spike again with BT, but it's at the point where Curse Academy have better regen. They've got more health bars.
Yeah, Jace falls off pretty decently at this point in the game compared to everybody else who pretty much could have played top. The lack of a tank.
Infinity Edge, he has real damage again on his W. Like if you start adding damage items,
far off.
Sure,
by the time he has
4,000 gold away. But if the game does keep going for a while, like you actually can burn through people with Jace Lucian.
Yes, yes. You would have to get to that point, but you have to deal with mandatory cloud. And I'm assuming that he would just get even further.
Sure, true, very true. A little bit of poke on a Saint. He loses Spiderlings, but still stole the blue buff away. So Curse Academy taking every advantage they can. Once again, they're playing patiently though. Chris, he's going to split push. They've got 1 minute, 15 seconds on Baron still.
Is it Chris Academy now?
Yep.
Just taking it over?
I mean, he's a part of the reason they're going to win. Although I got to say though, 5-1 and 3 next Peke.
Yes.
He's positioned well in every fight. He's gotten the cleanup kills every time. He even got the Baron.
Yeah. And you talked about it a lot earlier that there's talk of, maybe Chaox will be in the scene. We'll see what happens with that. Because Peke, he's doing really big things for his team right now.
Makes the name for himself for sure. Oh, the Javelins came out, clearing away some of the minions. Denial are keeping their turrets alive for now, but Curse Academy, there's so many turrets to kill here. Wow! That hurts. There's a lot of gold left on the field for these guys, but with that poke, this could be rough. Nice flashing against Peke. The Javelin hits, that's a kill. Now can Denial get anything else? Chris will push down the bottom lane, but the inhibitors, again, they are available in a 5 versus 4.
Here's the thing though, you have to send more than one person back to deal with Chris, but if he backs off himself, you're probably good to go.
They'd get out base race. He has
to. They saw him back. They saw that he canceled his back, or they basically saw that he wasn't there. So now, Chris is actually going to start up again. And now, look at that. You can see they have that ward in that bottom bush, so they know what Chris is doing. And Anda is basing his movements off of that. Every time he saw him back, he was like, oh, nope, I'll back. And then...
All right, well, they're going to go for the bottom inhibitor now as well. Chris did recall with home guards. 5 versus 4. Baron buff timed out already. Denial. If they can't win a fight without the AD carry.
Watch for the shockwave, though. That would be the way that Curse Academy start this fight off in their favor.
6 seconds on Caitlyn. Denial, they are playing too afraid of the 4v5. They can't stay for this anymore. Caitlyn's back. This is I think, a pretty easy fight for Curse Academy if they go for it. There's the engage from Chris. He's going to land a 2-man stun. Shockwave hits one as well. Anda's going to be going down. And the nice Sonya's ulti from Bunny Pupa catches one as well. And Nori's got nowhere to go now. Hits up with a distance. 2 kills now for XPeke. Ion's also going to go down. 3 kills Curse Academy. This is their fight.
And they got the middle inhibitor for Denial, but they got too greedy and they couldn't stick around in this fight. You saw Peke come back, came up big for his team, picking up 2 more kills for himself, and Bunny Fufu, that Zonius was really good.
Oh, absolutely it was. So
Dragon's going to fall to them as well.
there's a lot of gold now going Gross Academy's way. If the Nile can get another, immediate pick, like they have 1,500 random burst damage if skill shots land. They can find another one of those, they can make something happen. They've got a dead inhib as well to create pressure, and that will be super minions during the Baron buff, or during the Baron's respawn. But Curse Academy are so much stronger in team fights now. They were pushing the team back 4v5.
Yeah. Now there's a large minion wave top. Peke's going to make his way up there after he gets the red buff. Now, what does Denial do? Their team comp is hitting that window, and now there's a 6k gold lead. About to be 7k off this big wave for Curse Academy. And running a poke comp like this that doesn't have a tank, doesn't have anybody for zone defense against the Jax, who's just going to melt your team alongside the Orianna, it looks pretty grim for Denial.
I mean, that'll be a
they've had to poke
maybe.
with the poke comp.
Yeah.
But Curse Academy, they aren't letting that happen.
Well, we'll see if the Nile can ride the super minion wave mid lane. That could be a window for them.
Yeah.
1 minute till Baron. Dragon's off the field. No buffs, easy to take as well. Let's see. Sweep away some of these wards. They gotta know Dragon's off. So they know that's not important. Right side wards wouldn't matter. 45 seconds till Baron. Jax heads away to the bottom lane. Again, something that it'll require at least 2 guys to react to, and even still he might get away. Mancloud grabs Wraiths again. 331 minions there, even farther ahead of WP Rares in Italy.
So Denial can win this if there's a misplay by Chris in terms of how he gets into the fight, or if he doesn't get in fight in the time, if they get poked down. Right now, the call for Curse Academy is probably avoid the poke and let Chris push, but still stay relevant. Don't let them just all collapse onto Chris. You have to make yourself known. You have to show your presence.
Well, he might be looking towards Chris. Chris does not have any wards out at all.
Yeah.
But when he sees MAAs, he jumps backwards. But there's this window where he doesn't see him. He's going for red buff now.
He's kept his warding totem for that exact reason.
Yeah.
Because he needs to have that ward up to defend himself.
He's taking his time, taking double golems. He's happy to just say, me getting gold is still an objective in itself. No rush in this game. Curse Academy playing it patiently, intelligently so. This does give time for the Nile to maybe hit these javelins, though. So with patience comes opportunity.
Say Vicious is really tanky now, too. So they have 2 people who have started tanking up against this poke composition. I wouldn't be surprised that if we see a Spear or Shock Blast land onto Elise, we're going to be like, oh, it's not as powerful as we thought.
Yeah, Randuin's extra Spectral Scout. He's actually going Void Staff in order to have more damage relevance in the late game. 1 extra threat on the team. Saint start up Baron, and Denial's on the wrong side of the map for this one. They've got to run up, not finish the red buff. They've got to stop this. It won't be in time. This is going to be Curse's. There we go. Good smite by Saint.
Sent too many people to be on that side of the map to keep tabs on Chris, and Inori was the wrong person to send. Same with Anda. You shouldn't have had anybody there. They had teleport available. And there's still always the possibility of the Baron. Now they have Baron. Their middle inhibitor is back up. There's a 9,000 gold lead with the combat stats of Baron on top of it. Curse Academy, they're looking really good right now. And they outplayed this composition.
They definitely did. So there goes the middle tier 2 turret. Only the base turrets are left. Big wave in the top lane there, but they look like the team's going to group up towards the bottom side. Right off the Jax bush. Javelin won't land. Shinon's going to be around there. He's got to be careful about the cocoons and everything else. Nice shock blast gets rid of some of the minions there. And I'll hold on for now. But again, it's a Baron buffed Curse Academy.
Even if they take poke, they'll be able to regen it up a decent amount. All the waves are actually pushed up to them right now. So Anda has to clear the side waves. Now, if a binding lands, a cocoon will follow. And now they're just trying to get the poke out there. Let's see what they can do. Look at how little that does.
Shockwave hits everybody, and there comes the jump on in. Mancloud kicked into the team. How's this battle going to go? Chris actually forced backwards. Anda will fall 1 for 0. Bunny Fufu going to get a bit of a stun there. Chris finds another one. 3 kills. Curse Academy. Only the 80 carrying support left alive. Now Shinon goes down 4 for 0. This is going to be the game. Curse Academy clawing their way through, waiting on the Jax to scale up, defeating the poke comp. Losing inhibitors doesn't even matter. They finally get their way in.
They're able to just siege up, and you said it at the start. Top lane and the fact that there's a timer on this game is what we were going to be looking at. In Denial, their team composition, they didn't get out drafted. They did pick a solid team comp, But Curse Academy played it safe, played it right. Yeah, they end up on top.
45 minutes, 20 seconds.